Hey everybody, welcome back to Bookish and Bearded. It's been a while since I've done a book haul, so it is time for another one. Most of these books came from two places. So a little while ago, we had my sister-in-law come stay with us, and her and my wife, growing up, used to go to the bookstore and buy each other books or just sit around and read. It is one of their favorite things to do together. So when her sister came, she spoiled my wife and took her out and bought a ton of books. So most of these are from that. And then Barnes had a 50% off all hardcovers. So we went and hit that up too. That's where most of these came from. So yeah, let's get into it. The first book is The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy by Bridget Knightley. That is this book. It is a beautiful covered book, and the inside was super pretty. But this says it is about loyalties being tested in a slow burn romantasy following an assassin and a healer forced to work together to cure a fatal disease while resisting the urge to kill each other. Or worst, fall in love. So that's this book. It sounded super cute. I've seen mixed reviews on this, to be honest with you. Quite a few of you, a while back, I did a story on Instagram and asked people what their most recent DNF was. And surprisingly, this came up a lot. But I'm not going to let that taint my view on it. It sounds like a really cute book. And I do have different taste than a lot of people. I like cozy romantasy, so I'm excited about this one. Next is The Scorpion and the Night Blossom by, boy, I hope I don't mess this up, Emily Wen Zhao. I think that's how you would pronounce that. This is a YA Asian-inspired trials romantasy. I was told that this, if you've seen the new K-pop Demon Hunters and enjoyed it, that this is what you should read. I have not seen it yet, but everyone's been raving about it. I want to watch it. I do like anime, so I do plan on watching that. I do plan on reading this, and I do love my Asian-inspired books, so I'm pretty excited about this one too. And this is another one that has like the really pretty sprayed edges and like flowers on the inside, which is really cool. So the next one is the third Crescent City book by Sarah J. Maas, or Moss, which all of you probably know of this book. I have not read the Crescent City books. I went down the Sarah J. Maas like rabbit hole, and starting with ACOTAR and read all of those, and then all of Throne of Glass, and I was pretty burnt out on her writing. I do plan on reading these one day, so while this came out and it matches the rest of our set, we went ahead and grabbed it. Dude, I don't know when I'm going to read this because it is huge. All three are pretty massive, and it is very daunting because I'm not saying I don't like her writing. I would probably have Sarah J. Maas in my top 10 for sure, because ACOTAR and Throne of Glass are really good. But dude, I got a little burnt out reading like what is that, 11 books back to back, however many that is. It was a lot. So I'm nervous to start the next series. All right, next is House of Blight by Maxim M. Martineau, something like that. This book was bought for me by my wife. She wanted me to pick out a book, and this one sounded right up my alley. I had never seen it before, but it is a gothic, fae, dark romance or romantasy. It is about a woman who has the special ability to heal anyone or anything in the blink of an eye. The downside is that every time she does it, it takes a portion of her life away. So she's been hiding this power from everyone, and whether that's selfish or not, I'll let you be the judge. But she doesn't want her own life to be taken away, and then the Fae find out that she has this ability, and that's all I know about it. It's all I want to know about it because it sounds freaking good. I love gothic books and Fae and romantasy, so I'm really, really excited about this book. All right, the next book is Enigma by Runix, and it is this beautiful book. This is a dark romance that I know nothing about, but the inside was super beautiful. It says Salem Salazar is a Mortimer University legacy and the black sheep of her scandal ridden wealthy family. Obsessed with death, she arrives at Mortimer on the hunt for answers about what happened to her perfect missing older sister. There, she discovers that her sister is far from the only girl to have gone missing. Salem will do anything to discover what dark forces are killing the students, even if it means using herself as bait. Ooh, it sounds good. This book sounds a lot like Ninth House, so I'm going to go into it a little bit nervous because it is dark and it sounds like it's in a college. So we're going to see if it's good. It's a beautiful book, and I am excited to try another dark romance kind of academic book, and we'll see how it goes. I'll keep y'all updated. The next book is Four Ruined Realms by Maya Corland. This is book 2 to a book we already owned. I think it's called Five Broken Blades. Super cool sprayed edges. The only reason I got this is because it's book 2 to a book we already own that I have not read, but I can't wait to read it either. The next book is The Sky on Fire by Jen Lyons or Lyons. Probably Lyons. That'd make more sense. This is a romantasy about a young lady that likes to ride this huge dragon. She's like a warrior, but likes to roll solo. That is her plans until one day she is like kidnapped by a devilishly handsome dragon rider and his band of misfits who try to take her to their kingdom of dragon riders and make her a part of their group. Sounds almost like Peter Pan kidnapping Wendy, but I don't know much about this book. That's just what I gathered from the back. So if that's way off, I apologize. But yeah, that's pretty much what it sounds like this book is about. And it was like really floppy with a beautiful cover, so I was pretty excited about it. Next is Mask of Shadows by Lindsay Miller. This book, I had never heard of this before, but read the back and it sounded phenomenal. Actually, it sounds like something my wife would love. This is about a thief whose family is murdered by the queen, and then she finds out that the queen is holding a competition to get a new assassin in her repertoire. So this young girl goes and becomes a killer and tries to become her assassin. But when she gets there, she finds out that the competition is full of clever circus acrobats, lethal apothecaries, and vicious ex-soldiers, and has to try and kill her way to become the queen's assassin and get her revenge. It sounds awesome. I'm freaking excited about this one. Next is A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen. This beautiful book sounds pretty cool. You don't read many books about artificers, but this is about an artificer and a miner, not child, someone who mines rocks, and their love story. Basically, they grew up together and have to go their separate ways based off of kind of like a huge disagreement. And then she stumbles upon this hidden magic while she's doing her thing, and his rebel group kidnaps her to use her to fight against the kingdom. So years and years later, after they've grown up, they stumble upon one another on opposite sides of the war, and she gets kidnapped and forced to like help him do something, figure something out that he needs her magic for. Beautiful book, and it sounds really cool. I like unique books where you get stuff like people who mine rocks, artificers, stuff like that that you wouldn't typically get. Like that last book was an assassin. The one before that's a dragon rider. Those are books I've read before. I don't think I've read a book like this, so that to me sounds really cool. Next is The Will of the Many by James Islington. And this behemoth of a book I know zero about. I don't want to know anything about it, so I'm not going to read the back to you. I just know that this is an epic fantasy that lots of booktubers have in their top 10. Lots of my friends have recommended this, and that's it. I just wanted to get an epic fantasy that I haven't read before. and The Will of the Many has been on so many lists. I want to go in blind, and I'm kind of excited that I don't know much about this book. These next three are manga. I think they're cozier manga, but my wife and her sister both love anime, love to read books like this. My wife's sister has already read these and wants my wife to read them, so she got them for her. And it is Frieren, Beyond Journey's End. And the other one I've heard of, it's Spy Families, books 3 and 4. My wife's got the first few. I've heard phenomenal things about all of these. I read manga, I guess. I've read a couple, nothing compared to them. So I don't really know much about these, and I probably won't read them. Next is Roll for Romance by Lenora Woods. This is a D&D rom-com. That's all I knew about it and was super excited. So let's find out together. Two fledgling tabletop gamers find themselves falling for each other, both in and out of their weekly D&D sessions, in this charming, fantasy-tinged romance. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I love rom-coms, and anything to do with a romance where it's super nerdy, I am all about it. All right, this one I'm probably the most excited to read. This is A Tale of Mirth and Magic by Kristen Bell. You never, ever, ever see a thick elf. And I saw that on the cover and picked it up, and it just sounded adorable. So this is a cozy romantasy. It says, Aliki may not have a family, but she does have her fierce independence, boundless charm, and enough talent as a jewelry artisan to make a living on the road. Unfortunately, she can't yet manage to control her chaotic elven magic or her temper. Sweet, soft Bera lives a quiet life. All he wants is to blend in and not make waves. A bit tricky as a purple half-giant. When she lands in hot water, Bera finds himself helping her flee the constables, and they begin a journey filled with cozy inns, quirky companions, and delicious meals. Dude, I love cozy books. You've seen my last few videos. It's all I've been reading lately. I am really, really pumped about this book. It sounds so freaking cute. All right, next is Mortal Queens by Victoria McCombs. I've actually heard that name before. I know nothing about this. My wife got this for a book club she's in. Book Like You's, Keisha's book club. So this is either a Christian author or a Christian book. I would assume it is closed door, whatever it is. It is a Fey realm. Each year on the Center Island, one girl is chosen to be the next mortal queen of the idolized Fey. The mortals praise these lucky girls, but their daughters are never seen again. That's all I know about it. That's all my wife wants to know about it. So I'm going to stop there. Hopefully it's a good book. Next is The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. That is this book. This says, the Emperor's reign has lasted for decades, his mastery of bone shard magic powering the animal-like constructs that maintain law and order. But now his rule is failing, and revolution is sweeping across the Emperor's many islands. When he refuses to recognize his daughter as heir to the throne, she vows to prove her worth by mastering the forbidden arts of bone shard magic and basically overthrowing her dad. Sounds super cool. All right, next is Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. I know nothing about this beautiful book as well. Sorry, guys. It says 6 rivals, 1 victor. Eternity is only the beginning. Very vague on the inside and the back. I'm going to have to find out. It seems like it's a dark romantasy. That's all I know. And then the last book is A Theory of Dreaming by Ava Reed. And it is the second book to A Study in Drowning. And that is why I got it, because we own the first book. And I've heard these are both phenomenal. And I love that the sprayed edges look like bookshelves. All right, that is it for the book haul. But for those of you that do not want to see Fairy Loot, I'm about to show off this month's Fairy Loot books that I got because they were all gorgeous. That is your warning to be gone. The first book is The Nightblood Prince, which is the most beautiful book I think I have ever gotten in fairy loot or period. And it is freaking stunning, dude. They crushed this book. Look at this. It's nuts. This is the most beautiful book I think I've ever gotten. Next is Immortal Consequences, which is one of the ones I just showed you. We did not know that we were going to be getting this in fairy loot. This is the one I told you is very vague, but I am excited because the inside does make it look like Dark Academia, and it looks creepy too. And I am freaking even more pumped about this book. And then the final one is Warrior Princess Assassin, which looks like a why choose with a princess and two princes. I think I read the back of this, and if I remember right, it's a prince and the royal guard that trained her in combat, and her not being able to choose between the two. Dude, Fairy Loot this month freaking crushed on these books. So yeah, that's just me showing off the 3 books we got this month. I hope you all enjoyed this. If any of these books I showed you are really good and you've read them, let me know. Let me know which ones you're excited for me to read, because as you all know, I don't know much about the books I buy. I typically see a beautiful book or go off your recommendations, or someone will gift them to me, or whatever it may be. It is very rare that I sit and wait for months and pick a book, though that does happen. So if you know more about these books than I do, without spoilers, just let me know how excited I should be to read a couple of them. And y'all have a great week.